Okay guys, here we are for some more ZE2. I'm excited to get closer to this ending because things are crazy. Like the whole I guess I forgot to mention at the end of the last episode that we did use the hint of the first gate, second gate stuff that we got. But yeah, Luna is a golem. That's really the only thing we confirmed, and now we are at the treatment center, which if this is like one of the other lines, then Quirk is passed out in this pod on the left that we're about to open. So yeah, let's find out and continue on, shall we? And is it him? There he is! Quirk! Okay, I thought it was about to end. I thought it was gonna end, and I was like, oh my god, did I really like stop my last video with like 2 seconds left? Our feet pounded across the floor of the warehouse. Wait, what did we do? Grab him and run? Alright, what about Luna? We're just gonna leave her? I know she's a robot, but...
This is it.
Quirk's body bounced in my arms as I ran. His pulse and breathing were normal. He was limp and unconscious, but he was alive. The pod's display had given us a little information on his condition. As far as we could tell, he'd been given an anesthetic which had put him to sleep.
Ready?
Alright.
What's wrong? You're supposed to say, yeah, sure.
What about Luna? Is it really okay for us to just leave?
What the hell is this? You want to stay here? What if Luna kills you too?
What?
Think about it. Alice, Clover, Tenmyoji, the old woman, even Dio and Kay. There's a good chance Luna killed all of them.
But why?
Why doesn't matter. Remember what we saw on Clover's thigh?
016.
And what's that the same number as?
The last 3 digits of Luna's product ID.
Where did we find the old woman's corpse?
In the AB room that Luna came out of.
And if you're right, her brain is in the central computer core. That means she could have easily moved that crane, right? She could have used it anytime she wanted.
That means any alibi she might have for not being able to move the crane is worthless.
Exactly. She must have moved the AB room. Alice noticed it right away. At the very least, that would mean Luna had a reason to try and kill Alice.
Or Luna was trying to expose Dio, but in an indirect way. I don't know. To keep her quiet?
She could also have murdered Dio and Kay. Remember their star keys? Luna must have taken them, which puts her in the room with Dio and Kay.
I don't know.
You understand, don't you? I admit none of this evidence is conclusive.
Right.
But look at our options. You, me, Quark, and Luna. Who do you think is the most likely to be the murderer? Think this through, Sigma.
I think Dio or Kay locked... I'm still going with my theory that Dio or Kay locked, what's it called? Tenmyoji and Clover to that sink. And then Kay and Dio had a spat and killed each other with that, kind of like what Phi said, where like Dio hit him with the battle axe, and then with the last bit of Kay's strength, he impaled Dio. But that's just me hopeful thinking because I like Luna still, even though she's a robot.
Luna's a golem. That means she's a robot that's part of this facility, designed to do God knows what. If what you said about golems and the central computer is true, she's basically a puppet of Zero Junior's. There isn't really much of an argument to be made here. The only option is to leave her here and get out.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of robotics?
Yeah, she said it. A robot may not injure a human being or through inaction allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic.
Okay. You're right. Let's get out of here.
Damn. Don't scare me like that.
Okay, that's not the...
Okay, I'm going to open it.
Is he just
Ready?
gonna ditch her and stay here? You don't have to ask me. Isn't that what you always say?
Yeah, I guess so. It's time we got out of here. Let's go.
Guys, I don't know. I don't trust that he's gonna actually leave. With a heavy, labored groan, the number 9 door began to open. As soon as the gap was wide enough to admit her body, Fi slipped through it. I followed her through, Quark still cradled in my arms. Alright. Interesting. He had that flashback to the laws of robotics and then just didn't say anything about it and was just like, okay, let's go. Interesting. Inside was a massive lift platform like the kind used to move industrial cargo. Fi turned to face me, and I shoved Quark. Oh, we're gonna jump through. Okay, there we go. And I shoved Quark into her arms.
Huh?
Before she could respond, I spun around and ran. Well, shit.
The number 9 door has been opened. It will remain.
Sigma! What the hell are you thinking? Get back here!
Sorry, Fi. There's something I have to do. Take care of Quark.
No!
We're gonna be locked in there, though. Sigma's crazy.
You don't mean you're going to go find Luna? God damn it, Sigma! Think about what you're doing! Sigma! Listen to me! You can't do this!
Well, damn. That's that, I guess. This is for sure the Luna end.
Has closed. This end. Thank you. As the gate escape, please.
Alright. We are now stuck here. I had no regrets. In fact, with Fi and Quark's successful escape, I felt a profound sense of relief. One of my objectives had been achieved, and a difficult choice had to be made, or had been made. My mind felt clear and focused, more so than it had in a long time. Alright, time to go. Luna's waiting. Is she? Bee Garden? Is that where we're going? Come on, Bee Garden. Yeah! She just gonna be sitting here? Luna, I knew you'd be here.
You knew?
Oh, right. We haven't talked here in this one, huh?
Isn't this nice?
Yeah.
This is the only place in this whole facility with anything green. I kind of feel silly saying it, but it makes me think of the great outdoors. I think it's the perfect place for a serious conversation. Being surrounded by nature makes me feel happy.
I'm not sure what you meant just now, but are you talking about something that happened in another history?
Oh, shit! She's somewhat aware. What?
I know what you can do. Someone told me about it once.
Shit. Who? Once? What?
They said that you have the ability to transport your consciousness through time.
Who told you that? A little birdie. Luna looked down at the music box around her neck. Carefully and delicately, she twisted the dial on the bottom.
Sigma, aren't you here to ask me something? Why I killed them, perhaps?
Well, actually, I already know you didn't do it.
Oh?
Why do you think I didn't do it? I'd like to know your reasoning.
Alright. I nodded and took a moment to compose my thoughts. Might as well start with the old woman. There's no point beating around the bush, I suppose. Dio killed her.
Why do you think so?
Her left arm had... So I guess we just know about this now because of the whole premonition aspect. We just never mentioned it to Fi. Okay. Her left arm had blood spatter all the way up to the elbow, except for a stripe on the wrist that was perfectly clean. What could have caused that? My guess is a bracelet. It got covered with blood and kept her wrist clean. Obviously, none of our bracelets had blood spatter on them, but Dio's bracelet reacted to the luminol. That meant Dio's bracelet had to have come from the old woman.
Is that your proof? That's why you think Dio killed her?
No, that's only enough to suspect him. After all, he could have just taken the bracelet after someone else killed her.
Then why are you so sure?
Because he confessed.
What?
After his bracelet reacted to the luminol, I confronted him.
Alright, fine. You caught me, I did it.
Yo.
I killed the old bitch and took her bracelet.
Wait, when did that happen?
In a different timeline.
Isn't that against the rules?
What rules? I hope you're not going to try and bring up Nox's 10 Commandments. Does it really matter if it's against the rules or fair? The truth is the truth. Yeah. Let's say that Incident P happens, and after that the timeline splits into Timeline A and Timeline B. I don't think it's unfair to base a theory in Timeline A on information I found in Timeline B. After all, A and B both came from the same place, P. If you trace the history of both timelines, you'd end up back at Incident P. Now, if I could change what happened with Incident P by visiting Timeline A or B, then yes, it'd be a different story. I don't know that it'd be unfair per se, but I'd certainly be breaking some pretty big rules. Like, you know, the principle of causality. Yeah, basically the idea of, like, that would lead you into a bootstrap paradox of what came first, right? If, what he just said there is basically saying that, if he were to go back using knowledge from, like, Timeline B, he went back and changed what happened in Incident P, then Incident P never happened, and then he would never get the info in Timeline B to never go back, so then he would never go back and never stop Incident P, and then it loops and loops and loops, right? The idea of a bootstrap paradox. So, yeah, that makes sense. Sorry for the squeaky chair. I'm sure that Dio killed the old woman. By extension, that means you couldn't have killed her. I'm assuming Dio wasn't originally intended to be part of the Nonary game. Somehow he got in and took the old woman's place. That's how he ended up as Quirk's partner. This is just an educated guess, but I have a feeling his plan was to replicate one of us. Or replicate, what the hell? Was to replace one of us. I doubt it mattered which one. I have no idea why he would want to do something like that, and I don't know how he did it either. But the fact remains that he did. He hid in the warehouse on floor A and waited for someone to come out of one of the AB rooms. That someone turned out to be the old woman. Yeah, man, Akane, pro with all those puzzles. She participated in one of the games, and then she also hosted one of the games. So she's a master of these puzzles. Of course she'd solve it first. Assuming she is Akane. She left Quirk asleep in the AB room and came out on her own. Somehow he managed to get close enough to stab her. He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. God damn it, I'm so mad that she ended up dying so early. I wish we got to know old Akane. God damn it. Maybe she'll somehow be resurrected and we'll get Golem Akane and the true ending. He did it near the wall with the graffiti on it. I'm guessing he stabbed her from behind so that he wouldn't get any blood on himself. As soon as she was dead, he wrapped the knife up in the handkerchief. No, wait, actually, he probably took the bracelet first. Then he would have needed to wipe the blood off it, so he used the handkerchief for that too. Anyway, the point is he got the bracelet and put it on. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the rightmost AB room and its neighbor. He probably didn't expect that they'd move, or he would have put it somewhere else. After that, he headed back into the AB room that the woman had left. Quark would have still been fast asleep, so as far as he knew, Dio was there the whole time. This does raise a few other questions, but I'll save those for later. For now, let's move on to the other murders. Well, actually, one of them probably isn't a murder.
What do you mean?
I'm talking about Alice. I'm pretty sure she committed suicide.
All of humanity
Yo.
is going to die. Adults, children, everyone. Everyone! There won't be anyone left! I'd rather die here!
We remember the Radical 6 endings now, so for her. She'd been infected with Radical 6. I think that infection caused her to take her own life. She used Dio's knife, which she'd found in the warehouse after the AB room moved and exposed it. She took it with her and then used it to stab herself in the crew quarters. Next are Clover and Tenmyoji. The first question is, who put the handcuffs on them? The clue is the message on Clover's left? 016? If you think about it, though, it doesn't make sense. Clover's left hand was in the handcuffs. That means she would have had to write it with her right hand on her right thigh. I feel like it would be really hard to do that, you know? Why not just use your left thigh? The thing is, I think she did. When she died, her legs slumped together. Oh my god, I predicted that! It's backwards! It's Dio! And the message got transferred to the right thigh. We just never saw the original because we didn't bother to check the other leg. In other words, she wasn't trying to write 016. She was trying to write Dio. I, predicted that, but then they said 016 and I just, let it go. Oh my god, nice. With her dying breath, she was trying to tell us the name of her killer. Now, about Kay and Dio. I think there's a pretty good chance Dio killed Kay. Here's how I imagine it happened. Kay probably sprayed Dio's bracelet with the luminol. Yup, it's gonna be the other theory I had. We found the bottle or I guess Phi had the theory, but I think I might have said, what if they killed each other before Phi even said it. So, we found the bottle in Kay's robe. He wouldn't have seen the reaction immediately, but Dio would have known what was coming. As soon as Kay turned the lights off, it would be clear that Dio had taken the old woman's bracelet. My guess is he decided to take preemptive action. When we found their bodies, the lights in the rec room were on. Maybe Kay turned to switch the light off and Dio took that opportunity to attack him. Kay was hurt pretty badly, but he didn't die right away. He probably managed to grab the spear and stab Dio. Yep. Nice. I had that theory. Then he died. So that accounts for all 6 bodies. None of them your fault. Damn.
Sigma, I'm glad you don't think I did it, but all of your theories are just, well, theories. Like Alice committing suicide. How can you be sure? Say she was infected with Radical 6. She could have been murdered before her symptoms even began to present themselves. As for Clover and Tenmyoji, I could easily have killed them. You don't have any proof that Clover's message was mirrored like you say, or even that it was supposed to refer to Dio. Even if it did, that's not conclusive evidence of his guilt. The same goes for Kay and Dio. I could have killed them both. Why do you trust me so much? I'm a machine. I'm part of this place. How can you trust a machine?
That's why I trust you.
What?
I trust you because you're a robot. Your robotness is just one more reason you can't be the killer. Well, 3 more reasons.
Have you ever heard of the 3 laws of
Yep.
robotics?
I knew as soon as we flashed back on this and then didn't address it with Phi that we were, like, ditching Phi. Rule 1. A robot may not injure a human being or, through inaction, allow a human being to come to harm.
A robot without the 3 laws is just a bunch of metal and plastic. Sigma.
Luna, I have to ask you. Can you tell me, well, everything you know? Your mind is in the central server. You should know everything that's happened here. There was a long pause. Luna stood up and walked deeper into the garden. I followed her in silence. Can this be my canon ending? Where we just live out the rest of our days with Luna in this place? Eventually we reached the bench. Luna quietly sat down, and just like last time, I lowered myself down beside her.
You were right. I didn't kill them. How should I explain? Well, actually, you got most of it right.
That doesn't matter. Tell me everything.
Well, first, yes, Dio did sneak into the facility. He used the large cargo elevator and came into the warehouse on floor A through the number 9 door.
Okay.
Since the game hadn't started yet, anyone could go through it.
Interesting. That doesn't really sound like sneaking. It sounds more like he just walked in.
Yes, I guess you could say that. He did get in pretty easily, but that's because Zero Jr. lured him here.
Oh shit. What do you mean?
Dio wasn't a surprise. Both Zeros knew that he was going to come.
So they brought him here?
In a way,
But why?
because his presence was an important part of Zero's project.
What project?
I can't go into that right now.
God damn it.
I'd be here forever.
Save that for the true ending.
Right now, let's just focus on the murders, okay? Anyway, Dio found his way in. They made sure he didn't know that he was actually being let in.
So why did he come here?
To make sure Zero's project failed. His first step was to pretend to be one of the players. As for how he did that, you had it pretty much right. The old woman was the first one out, and he killed her under the graffiti. He put her bracelet on after he wiped the blood off it with the handkerchief. Then he wrapped the knife up and hid it between the 5th and 6th AB rooms.
5th and 6th?
Counting from the left in their original placement.
In other words, the rightmost room would be the 6th room, and the one next to it would be the 5th?
Right. After that, he went back into the 5th AB room where Quark was sleeping. Then he just waited for Quark to wake up.
What were you doing while that was happening?
Nothing. I couldn't do anything. My body had been turned off. Zero Jr. had powered me down. My body wasn't activated until after Dio went into the 5th room.
Okay.
I couldn't help her. All I could do was watch while she was murdered.
Damn.
Everything in this place is controlled by Zero Jr. I couldn't try and prevent Dio from getting in either.
Wait, if Zero Jr. controls everything, then he was the one who moved the 6th room with the crane?
Yes, that's right.
Interesting.
Zero Jr. moved the room, not me.
Then who moved the old woman?
Me. It took me 10 minutes to get out of my AB room once I was turned back on. I ran over to check on her as soon as I did. Then I carried her back to the room I'd been in.
Why did you do that?
Because I was ordered to.
What? Okay.
Luna, listen to me very carefully.
What?
As you already know, the final stage of the project begins in 2 hours.
So Akane was part of the project? Oh shit. So is Akane or I guess old woman. I probably shouldn't jump the gun and assume Akane. Is she Zero Senior again? I don't know.
This will be the culmination of many years of hard work. We cannot afford failure.
Yes, I understand.
Then let's make sure. What is your mission?
Enter the nonary game as one of the participants and observe the actions of the other players. Ensure that they do what they are supposed to and guide them down the correct paths.
How many players will there be?
Myself and 7 others, ma'am. Will you be participating as well?
Yes. Our plan dictates that I must.
Damn. In the director's office, nice.
An individual by the name of Dio will be entering this facility presently. He has been led to believe he is doing so undetected. You've been briefed on him already, correct?
Yes.
Holy shit.
He will murder the first person to leave one of the AB rooms and take their place. If a pair is the first out, he'll probably kill both of them. That's all the information I've been given on him, ma'am.
So is that why she ensured Quirk was passed out longer, so that she was the only one that died? And if she orchestrated all that, obviously she'd be the first one out. She'd either not even have to do the puzzle, or if she did the puzzle, she'd be able to do it immediately, right?
Is there a problem?
With all due respect, ma'am, I would like to state that I don't feel right about this. We know someone is going to be killed, and we're just going to let it happen? I also have doubts about the use of Radical 6. Are you sure? Infecting all these people with such a horrible disease.
All of them? Infecting all these people? So does that mean everyone is infected?
That is none of your concern. Your only concern is to follow your orders.
But...
Luna, I am giving you an order. I am in command, and you do as I say. You are programmed to do as I say. You know this.
Damn.
yes.
Good. Now, I have one final order.
Another order, ma'am?
Yes. When you leave the AB room, the person Dio has killed will still be there. I would like you to move them.
Where?
To the room you are about to enter. The 6th AB room.
But... why?
I mean, obviously I still have a lot of questions. If the old woman orchestrated all this, how did she know it would turn out the way it did? Anyway. Let's keep going.
Not your concern.
Like, it seems like she specifically wanted all these little details to happen because they had to happen in order for things to work out the way that she wants them to, right? But how did she, like, manage to predict everything, like, you know? Unless... No, I don't know. Well, yeah. I mean... I guess technically, what if Tenmyoji, I had this theory before, what if Tenmyoji was Junpei, and they still had their connection, and Tenmyoji was transmitting info back to Akane in the past, because that's how it happened in ZE1, right? And that's where she got the idea to put on this game too. The only thing about that is, like, if that was it, I'd feel like it's just the same plot that happened in ZE1. Like, I'm sure they'd still do it in a way that I'd enjoy it, but I do kind of want something different, you know? I don't want it to be like the same plot line as ZE1, but anyway.
As a participant in the game, you must have as little knowledge of it as possible. That is why I have made sure you are unable to access any classified data.
Oh, damn.
There are things you must not know. In order for this project to succeed, we need you to be as close to a clean slate as possible. There are some things you already know, which ideally you would not. Unfortunately, this is unavoidable, so you must refrain from divulging anything you know about the project to the other participants.
Okay.
You must never tell anyone what you know about Dio, or the body, or that you carried it to the 6th AB room.
Well, she's breaking that rule right now, I guess, but I guess we already kind of knew a lot of the stuff.
You will have to pretend you know nothing more than the rest of the participants.
Is that an order?
Or the fact that the game's over now is the fact that she can say it.
Yes. Do I make myself clear?
Yes.
Damn. Alright. Well, shit.
After that, I went into the AB room as I'd been told to. As soon as I stepped inside, my body deactivated. But since my brain is in the main computer, I was still awake, so I still saw everything. While I waited, I used the security cameras to see what was going on in the rest of the facility.
And you saw the old woman being murdered.
Yes. It was hard. What I was seeing made no sense. Several of my higher level processes nearly failed. To think that she would be the first person to come out. I think she knew that Dio was going to kill her.
Right, yeah, I believe so too.
When she'd said she had one final order for me, I didn't understand what she meant. Like a fool, I told her I didn't approve, when I had no idea what she was prepared to do. When she died, whatever I have that passes for a heart felt like it snapped in two.
Damn. Ugh, so much stuff, guys. This is great. I think I understand. Everything you did because you'd been ordered to.
Yes.
And it was the old woman who gave you those orders? Then is she Zero Senior?
No.
Oh. What? But if she gave you the orders...
She did, but she wasn't the only person I took orders from.
Oh shit. There was someone else?
Yes.
And that person is Zero Senior?
Yes. We worked together to develop the project she mentioned.
Tenmyoji!
So I suppose technically my orders came from both of them. And they were both controlling Zero Jr. too. I told you before that Zero Jr. moved the 6th AB room. Although that's strictly true, he didn't do it of his own free will. They ordered him to do it. He was following orders just like me.
Okay. But why?
I don't know. I really don't. Maybe they did it so that people wouldn't suspect me.
If they didn't want people to suspect you, then why have you moved the body in the first place? Eventually we'd figure out that the rooms had been moved and that she was in your room.
Then maybe they wanted the opposite.
You mean...
Maybe they wanted you to suspect me.
That doesn't make sense either. If they wanted people to suspect you, why move the room?
You're right. Then maybe they only wanted certain people to be suspicious of me.
You mean like Alice?
Yes. Perhaps they wanted Alice to find the handkerchief and the knife. That would explain why they moved the room.
So they somehow knew Dio would hide the knife there?
Yes, I think so.
But how could they know that? Yeah, that's a very specific detail. That's like... I could see them, like, orchestrating this plan, and maybe, like, a lot of the aspects, like, using, like, calculated predictions, but I don't think you could predict that he'd hide the knife there. I mean, maybe you could assume that it's, like, the only hiding place, but there are, like, a bunch of other rooms? Why wasn't it between one of the other ones, you know, or something like that? But I'm starting to think that maybe it is like ZE1 and they have foreknowledge of this game, using the morphogenetic fields to send info to the past, you know, kind of thing. Anyway.
Well, whatever the reasons were, Alice did notice that the room was moved, which meant that Clover also figured it out. And just like you said, Alice used the knife to take her life.
Okay, so she did.
Clover didn't realize
Confirmed.
that, though. Or perhaps she didn't want to. In any event, she decided that I must have killed Alice to keep her quiet.
And that's why they had the argument.
So she confronted me. It was right after the second round of the AB game. Using Phi's timetable,
Are we gonna find
that
out
would
who
be
injected
0
her?
hours, 0 minutes.
She knows about Phi's timetable? Wait, you were listening to us in the security office?
Yes.
Just the creepy turn. And yes, it's like, I don't know, that was just a little creepy. Even though I still love you, Luna.
That wasn't all I was listening to, though. I know everything that happened in the facility after my body collapsed.
You were watching through the security cameras?
Yes, I was. I could see and hear everything. Anyway, we're at 0 hours, 0 minutes. I was in the hallway on floor A when Clover found me and took me to room 2 in the crew quarters. We entered at about 0 hours, 1 minute. She was very forceful.
I know you killed Alice.
Oh.
Tell me the truth and I'll let you live. Now fess up! I'm only gonna give you one chance. If you lie or try to play dumb or something, I'll kill you right in front of her!
Damn.
I told her the truth, of course. I explained that I hadn't killed Alice, that she'd been infected with Radical 6, and it had caused her to kill herself.
So she actually told her the truth.
Clover was never going to believe that, though. We argued about it for nearly 9 minutes. It wasn't just Alice she asked me about. She asked me about the murder of the old woman, and about the AB room being moved. She wasn't very nice about it, but I couldn't answer any of her questions.
Because of your orders?
Yes. Then, at about 0 hours, 10 minutes, she must have run out of patience. She stuck her hand in her pocket and started moving toward me. She backed me up against the wall and pulled her hand out of her pocket. She was holding the injection gun.
Oh shit.
I tried to take it away from her. I even screamed for help. She refused to let go, of course. While we were fighting over it,
Whoa, hold on a minute. The trigger got pulled in the fight? I get that part. What I don't understand is why it did anything to you.
You mean because I'm a golem?
Yeah.
One of my orders was always to act like I was one of the players. A human. Any human injected with that amount of tubocurarine would die.
Okay, so Clover was the one that did it. Damn. That's why you, died? To keep up the facade that you were a human?
No. I collapsed because Zero Jr. turned off the power to my body again.
Oh, damn.
He probably felt he had to. Maintaining the illusion that I was human was probably in his orders, too. So to make it look like I had died, he turned the power off. Whatever the case, it was an accident. I don't think Clover ever intended to actually kill me.
Yet she... I guess. I mean, I guess that does happen where people, like, someone will point a gun at someone with maybe never the intention to trigger, and then the other person, like, tries to grab it, and they end up, like, firing by mistake or something.
She only took the injection gun to try and threaten me.
How can you be sure?
When I collapsed, she looked terrified. She checked for my pulse and listened to see if I was breathing. She also shook my body and called out to me several times. If she'd meant to kill me, why do all that? After a few moments, she ran off to the infirmary to get the AED.
You mean the defibrillator?
Yes.
That uses an electric shock to restart the heart, right?
Correct.
So that was why she left?
Yes.
At 0 hours, 11 minutes, 40 seconds, Clover left the cabin in the crew quarters. And then Kay
She
showed
ran
up.
off toward the infirmary. On the way, she bumped into Dio.
Dio?
Yes. I guess she just saw him, really. They didn't talk. She just ran past.
Interesting. He just watched her go by?
Yes. I imagine he was curious, of course. He probably wondered what she was doing. But he chose not to go after her. He had something else to do.
Get the knife? At 0 hours, 12 minutes, Dio enters the room.
He seemed pretty surprised to find my body.
Yeah, I bet.
It didn't take him long to get over it, though.
Wouldn't imagine it would. What did he do then?
He'd gone there for 2 reasons. One was to get Alice's bracelet, which was a blue solo.
Right. Without it, Dio and Kay, the yellow pair, wouldn't be able to get through the secondary door. Right?
Yeah, but he couldn't find it.
Of course. Phi had already taken it by then.
Yes. But there was something else he wanted to do, too. He was there to take the knife.
Yep.
Removing it was gruesome.
Damn. Why did he want the knife? Was it because he'd used it to kill the old woman?
No, I don't think so.
Then what do you think?
I think he didn't want anyone to see the engraving on the knife's blade. That's why he hid it so well after he killed the old woman.
Myrmidons. Why wouldn't he want anyone to see that?
Do you remember what it said? There was a word engraved on the blade.
Myrmidons.
Yes.
What does Myrmidons mean? Wait!
It's the name of the organization he belongs to.
So Sigma didn't get all of the info, right? Then, obviously, so he doesn't have the info from the Dio end, I guess. Or the Clover end that talks about the Myrmidons. Or the Alice end that talks about the Myrmidons. So he only has, certain knowledge. He doesn't know everything right now. What is it? Like a club or something?
I don't think so.
Well, what is it then?
I don't really know.
No idea?
I'm afraid not.
Okay, so this is kind of like if you were to do the story lock that gets you the first gate password and the second gate password, or the first gate ID, second gate password. I guess if you did those endings and then went to this one, you could just know nothing about the Myrmidons right now if you happen to play the game in that order. Interesting. Wait, wasn't he here to try and stop whatever Zero was doing?
Yes.
Then, wouldn't that mean that he's on our side?
I don't know about that. He's killed 4 people. I'm not really sure he's on anyone's side.
You've got a point. Damn it, this is ridiculous. I guess this enemy of my enemy isn't my friend, huh?
May I continue?
Yeah, keep going. After he took the knife, Dio rifled through what few belongings Alice had. Luna said he didn't seem to be looking for anything in particular. He was probably just checking to see if he had anything useful. If she had anything useful. That was where he found the key to Kay's suit. He didn't seem to have any particular reason for taking it, at least as far as Luna could tell. At 0 hours, 13 minutes, Dio left the room.
He heard Kay opening the cyan door and ran out.
So I wonder if that means Kay did sit there and try to resuscitate her.
When he left, he was heading toward the infirmary. My guess is that he was going after Clover. He found her with the AED. She was probably planning to just ignore him and head back, but Dio didn't let her.
Oh.
Hey, wait.
Is this where they got handcuffed?
Just what are you planning to do with that thing? Thinking about trying to resuscitate Luna? And why would you want to do that? You were the one who killed her, weren't you?
When Clover tried to push past Dio, Luna said they began to fight.
Fuck do you think you're doing?
Also, I want to mention, I didn't really talk about it at all, but those handcuffs must be the one from the crew quarter puzzle, right? Just figured I'd point it out because it kind of just dawned on me. Not like it's a big deal, but if there was ever a question of, where did they get handcuffs, it was from that puzzle. It was locking, like, the third door or something, keeping it shut, and you take them off during the puzzle. Dio pulled the knife out of his pocket and pointed it at Clover's throat. That was when he showed up, Tenmyoji.
Dio, what the hell are you doing?
And this is where they get handcuffed, Dio.
Business. Stay out of this, you senile old shit.
Like hell, you son of a bitch!
And so they fight, he gets caught in the hand, right? He let out a yell and leapt toward Dio. The younger man dodged him easily and lashed out with the knife. Tenmyoji caught Dio's hand with a grunt, and for a moment the two men struggled. Then, as the knife edged closer, he wrapped his other hand around the blade. Okay, yeah. And tried to force it away. That's where he got the hand wound. But Dio was a much younger and stronger man, and the wound Tenmyoji gave himself with the knife didn't do him any favors. He put up a valiant fight, but with a roar, Dio threw him off, and Tenmyoji collapsed to the floor.
What are you going to do?
Let's see. How about this?
Knocked them both out, drug them over, handcuffed them, you know.
How cute. You two really look great together, you know?
What are you going to do to us?
Isn't it obvious? I'm gonna handcuff you to a sink. Actually, I already have.
Are you gonna beat us to death or something?
No. Nothing so tasteless.
What are you going to do then?
How'd you like to make a bet?
A bet?
You've got, 20-some minutes until the primary white doors open. So I'd say you've got 25 minutes until they close. Give or take. If somebody happens to come by here before the doors close, you might live.
That sucks that we just never checked the infirmary.
But if nobody finds you, well...
We'll be penalized.
Exactly. So, I suggest you start screaming for help now. Unfortunately for you, just about all the rooms in this place are behind at least 2 nice thick doors. So unless they're pretty close, nobody's gonna hear you scream.
Jeez.
Well, I'm off to the Floor B warehouse, okay? Enjoy your last 25 minutes. Later.
What an asshole. Alright, so that answers
25 minutes passed and no one came. Of course, by then there were only 3 other people who could have come, apart from Dio.
that. You mean me, Phi, and K, right?
Yes, you were in the crew quarters at this point.
Yeah. Kay had told us about you. We'd also noticed that the knife in Alice's chest had been removed. If only we'd known what was happening in the infirmary.
Unfortunately for Clover and Tenmyoji, their time had come. Once the primary white door closed, both of their bracelets injected them with Soparil.
The anesthetic, right?
Yes. Almost immediately they started to feel sleepy. I think that's when Clover realized she was definitely going to die. That was when she decided to leave her message.
Ah.
Just as you said, she wrote on her left thigh with her right hand.
And the word she wrote was Dio?
Yes.
Interesting. I wonder if they, like, when they were, like, I always, like, think about this from, like, a meta point of view. When they were, like, designing the game, do you think they, like, came up, like, they had Dio's name, and then when they were coming up with, like, Luna's, like, ID number, do you think they thought of, like, having the 016 at the end for that part specifically? You know? I don't know. That kind of stuff always interests me, is, like, how they went about, like, creating this game, and, like, when they, like, when all these pieces come together, did they, like, retroactively, like, change her ID to make that work once they came up with that idea, or did they have this all planned out from the start? Did they, like, name Dio because it was close to something like 016 if you mirror it, kind of thing? depending on how you write it and stuff. I don't know.
Well, I guess I don't really need to tell you. Your theory was essentially correct.
Damn.
What you said was what happened.
Okay. So Kay sprayed Dio's bracelet with Illuminol, and then while his back was turned, Dio attacked him with the axe. Yo. Dio mortally wounded him, but didn't kill him, so Kay turned around and stabbed Dio with a spear. Fucking... That sucks for Dio. Like, I know he's an asshole and everything, but that would suck to be, like, so close. Like, if Kay would have just died there, then he would have been, like, really well off, you know? With, like, so many people dead. And I guess that's when we found them.
Yes.
Alright. When did Kay get the luminol?
After they went through the white door, Dio and Kay found themselves in the director's office. When they were done there, they headed back to floor A to look for everyone else. They went to the crew quarters first, then to the infirmary. Of course, they found Clover and Tenmyoji's bodies there. Dio expected to find them, of course, but he pretended to be shocked. Anyway, Kay checked them over for anything useful.
And that was when he found the luminol?
Right.
Okay.
That's everything that happened. Do you have any questions?
Damn. So much. Well, what do you think? Does a bear shit in the woods? Well, the first thing is Quark's bracelet. Oh, that's a good question. Why was it in the infirmary?
Tenmyoji had it.
Also, how did he get it off?
Then when Dio attacked him, it fell out of his pocket.
But why did Tenmyoji have Quark's bracelet?
I told him where it was.
When?
Do you remember when you were in the rec room with Phi and Tenmyoji?
Yeah, when he sprayed us with the luminol, right? Sure, I remember that.
Right after then. When he left the rec room, he went toward the green door to look for Quark. I ran into him at the end of the hallway, where the 3 doors and the switch are. That was when I told him. Look, Tenmyoji. The center door is unlocked. He took off through it without another word.
And that's where they found Quark? That was the treatment room, right?
Yes.
Where Quark was sleeping?
Right.
We still don't know who put him there, though, and how the bracelet came off.
It only took him a moment. As soon as he saw Quark, he ran to his pod and started crying.
Out of relief, right?
Yes. The display on the pod showed Quark's vital signs. It was obvious he was alive the moment you looked at it. Next to the pod was Quark's bracelet. That was how Tenmyoji got it.
Why was Quark's bracelet off?
I took it off.
How?
Aluminum foil.
What? That's my... I like how Sigma said what as well. I mean, it makes sense. That was my reaction, too. You mean the stuff from the crew quarters?
Oh, you found it? Did you know that aluminum foil has electromagnetic shielding properties?
Huh. Well, what?
Here's an exciting fact. Your heart creates a bunch of faint electrical impulses. Anyway, the point is that you can detect the electricity that your heart makes by pumping blood. Your fancy little bracelets pick up on that.
Interesting.
Always watching.
Wait, so you're telling me the aluminum foil can block the electromagnetic waves your heart sends out?
Yes. All you have to do is wrap it around your bracelet.
And then the bracelet thinks your heart stopped?
Yes.
Holy shit. It was that easy all along? Damn.
Anyway, I
Well-
used some aluminum foil to get Quark's bracelet off.
If we can premonition that info, we can literally just take everyone's bracelet off, right? Is that just like a major flaw that they didn't think of? Or, I mean, I guess if they somehow had future knowledge, they knew it was going to turn out this way, so they put it there on purpose, right? But anyway, I don't know.
Then I put it next to the pod.
Wait, why was Quark in the pod to begin with?
Oh, that's easy. I put him there.
Okay, so she was the one that did it. When did you do that?
Remember when we were first looking for Quark? I found him unconscious near the entrance to the Golem Bay.
So you carried him to the treatment pod?
Yes.
Were you the one who unlocked the treatment center too?
No, I was not. I do not have the authority to operate any of this facility's machinery.
So it was Zero Jr.
That's right.
He reactivated your body too, right? Man, I don't get any of this. Why the hell did he do that? I guess it wasn't really him that did it, huh? It was just doing what Zero Senior and the old lady told him to? Everything leads back to them, huh? Of course it does. Damn. So much info. So, are you going to tell me?
Tell you what?
Isn't that obvious? Tell me what this project is? Everything that happens in here has something to do with it. So why were we brought here?
To play the nonary game.
And why were we supposed to play the nonary game?
That was part of the project.
You're just talking in circles now. Why did Alice kill herself?
Because she was infected with Radical 6.
How did she get infected?
Zero Senior and the old woman did that.
Why?
It was a necessary evil. It had to happen for the project to succeed.
What would have happened if Alice hadn't committed suicide?
Clover wouldn't have suspected me, and she wouldn't have accidentally, killed me.
Then what?
I wouldn't have collapsed, and Dio wouldn't have found my body. That would have meant the confrontation in the infirmary never took place.
In other words, you're saying Clover and Tenmyoji died for this project?
Yes.
Well, actually, it was a Tubocurian that killed them, but they were only injected with it because of their bracelets, and they were only wearing those bracelets because of the nonary game. If the nonary game was part of the project, then that's one more way it killed them.
I guess, if you want to look at it that way.
Now what about Kay and Dio? Why would they kill each other?
Because Dio killed the old woman. He was worried about getting caught, so he tried to kill Kay before he could find out the truth.
Then if Dio hadn't killed the old lady, what happened in the rec room would have never taken place, right?
Yes.
So let me ask you this. Why did Dio kill her?
So that he could pose as one of the participants.
Yeah, we know that. And why did he do that?
To disrupt the project.
Then why did she let him kill her?
The same reason they did all of this. It was a necessary evil. The project couldn't be allowed to fail.
Goddamn. Really, kinda just recapped what we knew a bit, but 6 people died here. 4 of them were murdered, one way or another, by Dio. At first, that makes it look like Dio's the reason they all died, but that's not true, is it? All of them, all 6 of them, they all died for this project. That means that the murderer, or I guess I should say murderers, were the old lady and Zero Senior, right? Yeah, I mean, you can trace it all back to that. They let Dio in knowing what he was gonna do, so... Please, Luna, tell me. What is this project about? Who is the old woman? Who is Zero? Oh.
Sigma. Would you hug me?
Oh, yes. What? Oh. Instead of answering, Luna wrapped her arms around me and buried her face in my chest. My own arms hovered in the air, confused about where they should go. I swallowed hard and tried to rein in my heartbeat, which had suddenly doubled. I was about to speak when I felt something warm on my chest. Was Luna crying?
This feels nice.
Her voice shook as she spoke. I lowered one hand to her head and began to gently stroke her hair. Oh shit. Oh no, is she dying? Damn. Hey, Luna. What the hell's going on?
I'm sorry. My ABT is usually held in place by muscle fiber. But after Clover gave me the tubocurarine...
Oh. Okay. I get it.
Does it scare you? This is what I really look like. I'm a golem. Just a machine. A jumble of metal and plastic that pretends to be real.
Still best waifu. I wrapped my arms around Luna and hugged her as tight as I could.
You believed in me this whole time.
Yeah.
Even though I look like this?
Of course. I trust you.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I wish I could stay here forever. You feel so nice.
Alright, canon ending. We just stay here forever.
But I think my time is up.
No, the music is so grandiose in the background too. What?
I've done things I really shouldn't have. Do you remember what you asked me earlier? About if Zero Jr. had reactivated my body? Remember? The truth is, he didn't.
Oh shit.
I did. I went to the part of the core that controls Zero Jr. and I hacked it.
Oh shit. What?
Yes, that was the first thing. The second. Do you know what the second one was?
Telling us all that shit?
If I had really wanted to, I could have saved Clover and Tenmyoji.
Oh.
Then Kay and Dio probably wouldn't have killed each other. That's not all. I could have stopped Alice from killing herself, and I could have even saved the old woman at the very beginning. In other words, I had the ability to disobey my orders. But I didn't.
Damn.
That's the second thing. I broke the first law. I was scared. I was afraid to die.
Huh. Yeah, I guess in a way, if she was capable of preventing it and she didn't, that is kind of breaking the first law, right?
Obviously, hacking the core and taking control of Zero Jr.'s systems is very, very bad. Golems who don't follow orders can become dangerous, so we're terminated if we disobey. You lose access to your body, of course, but everything that's stored in the core, your memories, your consciousness, is deleted.
What? Wait, are you saying...
Yes, very soon now I'll be gone.
Oh,
Zero
no.
Jr. is probably recovering himself right now. Once he's done, I doubt I'll be around much longer.
What? Why?
I watched
Oh.
6 people die and did nothing. I deserve this.
No. No, you don't. Even if you had done something, you would have been killed anyway. You can't blame yourself. You did what you could. You're not wrong. This game is what's wrong. Forcing you to watch your friends die is what's wrong.
Oh, Sigma, thank you. I'm really glad I met you.
Luna! Luna! It's going to be okay. I'm not gonna let them do this. You're gonna be fine, I promise. Just please don't...
I'm sorry. My time's up.
No!
At least I get to die in your arms.
Luna!
Thank you,
God damn it.
Sigma. And goodbye, Doctor.
Doctor? But she couldn't answer. Maybe the doctor that raised Kay? Anyway. That scientist guy? I don't know if he's considered a doctor. But she couldn't answer. I squeezed my eyes shut and held her, unable to bear the thought of letting any more of her slip away. Damn. Is that gonna be it? With one last quiet chime, the music box wound down. I was left with nothing but silence and the cold pool of tears over my heart. God damn. There it is! Luna ending for sure. Best ending, my canon ending. I don't care what happens next. This is my ending. I could stop the game right now and be happy. No, I'm just kidding. I still want to know more, obviously, but that was a fantastic ending. Or like that whole branch was amazing. God damn. Like, I obviously don't like that so many people died, right? obviously, I want to save everyone but Dio. I even want to save the old lady, even though I doubt that's possible. But, damn, that was some good shit, guys. Holy crap. That was like, granted, a lot of the stuff we got answers for were questions that were on this branch, you know? But we got a ton of answers. We did get some answers that were like off the branch, like, you know, so that like correlate to the rest of the game, you know, and stuff like that. So, damn. Alright, let's skip past this. Luna End, there it is. Tears in the Rain. Achievement unlocked. Damn. Alright, guys. Save that there. And now there is only one left. But that is about gonna be the end of this episode. What's gonna happen is next episode we are gonna next episode we're gonna be going down these other branches, which I mean, I don't want a meta perspective, but I imagine they're not going to be much. I imagine they're going to be like dead ends, kind of stuff like these endings, potentially. And then once we finish that up, all that is left, we've done everything else, is the one more branch over here. So, yeah. I can't wait. This ending was amazing. I can't even stress it enough. I'm actually going to be, I'm going to be recording another episode tonight. Maybe one or two more, maybe. I'm really going ham on this tonight. But I definitely will say that I am gonna take like a little break and just like let this mull over. I'm gonna go get like a snack and chill for a few and just like, damn. Yeah. I like a lot of the endings, don't get me wrong, but I think this one like was the most like made me fill with emotions and like I was so invested in it. Not that I'm not invested in the other ones, you know, but yeah, that was amazing. The Alice one was great too. I liked her story about like trying to like find her dad and stuff like that. Clover's was interesting, but it wasn't as like emotional, you know. It was mainly just like what happened to her after the AB game. I mean, after the last Nonary game, I mean. But yeah, we'll talk more about the endings once we get the true end, which I guess, unless one of these endings is the Phi ending, which I guess it's possible, and then the true ending is completely separate from all of that, then I guess this ending is gonna be the Phi ending, I imagine, which is pretty crazy. We still know like nothing about Phi too, which is crazy. So yeah. Anyways, guys, thank you so much. I can't wait to play more. Hopefully you enjoyed. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you did. Like usual, check out my Patreon if you want to see the rest of this game. I have early access on there, and all of the episodes should be on there by now. So check that out if you're interested. The link is in the description, or it should be popping up on the screen. Thank you guys so much for watching, and I will see you in my future videos. Bye-bye.